She hid her pregnancy from her rich husband. You won't believe why. Isabella lived a dream life. Her husband, Charles Grant, was one of the wealthiest tech investors in San Francisco. Their mansion had ocean views, private chefs, and even a personal driver. On the outside, everything looked perfect. Charles was handsome, successful, and adored by the media. He gave Isabella everything, jewels, trips, attention. But the problem is, his love had conditions. Charles had strict rules. He hated surprises, disliked kids, and was obsessed with control. Every part of Isabella's life was managed. What she wore, who she met, and even what she ate. She had once mentioned wanting a child, and he exploded in rage, saying he never wanted screaming brats ruining his life. So, when Isabella discovered she was pregnant, her heart froze. She took the test 3 times just to be sure. Sitting in her luxurious bathroom, surrounded by gold fixtures, she cried, not from joy but fear. She knew Charles would force her to choose, him or the baby. And for the first time in her life, she didn't know what to do. Isabella made a decision. She would keep the pregnancy a secret for as long as she could. She began wearing looser dresses, avoiding wine at parties with excuses, and faking morning workouts while quietly throwing up in private. Her best friend Naomi was the only person who knew. Naomi begged her to leave. You can't raise a child with a man who won't accept it. But Isabella was scared. Leaving Charles meant losing everything: her home, her comfort, and possibly custody. Charles had powerful lawyers. Month after month, she hid her growing belly. She booked secret doctor visits under a different name, saved money secretly, and kept smiling in public. At night, she'd talk to her unborn baby, whispering, "I'll protect you." No matter what. Her heart became torn. She still loved Charles. Part of her believed he might change. But her fear outweighed hope. The further along she got, the harder it became to hide. She started avoiding Charles physically. He noticed, and tension grew. One night during dinner, he shouted, "Are you hiding something from me?" She looked into his eyes and calmly said, "Nothing at all." In her 7th month, disaster struck. Isabella fainted during a charity event. Panic spread. Paramedics arrived. Charles followed her to the hospital, demanding answers. When the doctor came out, he said the words Charles never expected. "Congratulations, Mr. Grant. Your wife and baby are doing fine." Charles froze. "Baby?" he repeated. Inside the room, Isabella lay pale and exhausted. Charles entered, eyes filled with fury. "You've been lying to me for months," he yelled. She turned away. "I had to. I knew you'd hate it." Charles stormed out. For days, he didn't return. Isabella cried alone, fearing the worst. Then she received a message from his lawyer. Charles was filing for divorce. Heartbroken but not surprised, Isabella began preparing to face motherhood alone. She gave birth to a baby girl. Grayson held her tight, promising to give her a better life. Charles didn't show up. Not for the birth, not for the name, not even a call. But something inside Isabella shifted. For the first time, she didn't feel weak. She felt strong. She moved into a small apartment Naomi helped her find. She sold designer bags and old jewelry to afford diapers and formula. Life was hard, but Grace's smile made it worth every sacrifice. Isabella started working online, slowly rebuilding her confidence and savings. Months passed. Grace grew healthier and happier. Isabella began to find peace. She no longer thought about Charles. Until one day she got a call. It was from a TV producer. "We're doing a documentary on brave single mothers. Someone shared your story." At first, Isabella hesitated. Then she agreed. The documentary aired 2 months later. It told Isabella's story, the luxurious prison, the hidden pregnancy, and her journey to independence. Viewers were captivated. She spoke softly with tears in her eyes as she said, "He chose money over family. I chose love." The episode went viral. Suddenly, Isabella was being invited to speak at events, parenting panels, and even women's magazines. She became a voice of courage. Her social media blew up. Offers rolled in. She published a book titled Born Twice, A Mother's Fight for Freedom. And then Charles called. He asked to meet. She agreed. He walked in, humbled, tired, and emotional. "I was wrong. I let my fears control me. I want to be part of Grace's life." Isabella looked him in the eyes and said, "You lost that chance when you walked away." Charles pleaded. He offered money, a home, even a second chance. But Isabella declined them all. "I don't want your guilt," she said. "I have something better now, peace." She continued raising Grace with love and strength. Naomi remained by her side. Over time, Isabella started a foundation helping other women leave toxic relationships. Her life had turned full circle. Years later, Grace grew into a kind, brilliant girl. When asked about her father, Isabella simply said, "He gave me a gift the day he left. He gave me the chance to become who I was meant to be." And that was the truth, because Isabella's strength wasn't in hiding. It was in choosing love over fear and walking alone so her daughter never had to.